Hey, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the On Point Podcast. Dr. Joe Blake here with the Actionable Financial Literacy Center. Welcome this morning to all my listeners, financial literacy listeners, Facebook listeners, On Point. Hey, just welcome to today's podcast where we're helping you get your financial point across. Hey, got another hat here. My wife made this for me. She's got like 5 sewing machines in her craft room, she calls. 5 sewing machines, so just goes all out for me and make different hats for me. Just owed to my firefighting days back when I was in the Air Force. So I always like firefighting stuff. So she made this one here for me. So I'm going to just put this over on the side here. I always like to share the good things that she makes for me. But hey, welcome to today's podcast. Hope you get some. You're going to get some great information. Of course, as always, I like to bring it. I can bring it to you about financial literacy and how to make ourselves better from a monetary standpoint, so we can be able to give more and share with others in our lives, those that we influence, those that we help pushing to a better level financially. Just a recap for this 2024 summer sizzle. It is absolutely sizzling. It is 11 o'clock and there's 102 degrees here in Goodyear, Arizona. And it doesn't get hot really to 5 o'clock. So 102, it's going to get even hotter. Man, ain't no joke with the heat out here. But it's all good in the neighborhood. That's why we live here in Arizona. It's June, July, and August, way too hot. It is what it is. But that's because the rest of the year is like a bomb. It was like, man, this is nothing. This all you gotta do is stay in the air conditioning, run to your car with the air conditioning, run to the building. Yes, it's all good. All right. Anyway, the podcast here, we have our lesson here is mastering multiple streams of income, part 2. So let me grab a PowerPoint, get this going here. Oh, you know what? I don't think I got this part right here. So let's say we gotta go here. This button here is to say share. So I go here and go boom like that, and then voila la. Share. Sharing is caring. All right. So this is PowerPoint. Just recap what we did last week. There's 4 parts to this mastery income. First part was understanding income streams. There's multiple streams there. We talked about the types of income. There's active, passive income, portfolio income. We talked about different case studies with 4 different folks that were getting their different types of income that was coming in. We talked about a brainstorming session. There's 20 different ways that I showed you about having different incomes coming in. I shared a story about how during my research, I talked to some folks and said, well, I'm retired now, so we have a fixed income. Because of that fixed income, we got to manage our expenses. Well, if we have multiple streams of income coming in, you can manage the income that's coming in, and that necessarily won't have you fixed on working on your expenses, because you got income that's coming in. You manage the income, that'll take care of the expenses that you have as well. Wouldn't have to penny pinch all the time. So income, work on getting multiple income streams, and that's you live your life instead of having to manage your life versus you get where I'm going. So that's part 2 was identifying potential income streams, and I gave you 20 different ways for that. Part 3, we're going to work. I kind of ended on that last week with developing a plan. So we're going to continue with developing a plan here. And part 4 is implementation and management. And then from that point, as we end, we'll give you some homework assignment somewhat homework, not really homework. It's your life, man. You got to work on that bad boy. Work on your life. So, so here we go. Developing a plan. Developing a plan. You gotta plan. Work. Make a plan and then work your plan. All right. So you gotta have something. You gotta put something out there. All right. So here we go. All right. So how do we do this? How do we make this happen, Dr. Blake, Dr. Joe? How do we get this going for ourselves? Well, part of it also obviously is to set goals. And I mentioned last week about there's a catchphrase that the people use: a smart goals, specific, measurable, actionable, retain, reasonable, and then time oriented. That's a catchphrase. It's real catchy. And I mentioned that there was another something I created, which Camp 10. Camp 10 again. That's going to be another class, but that is more expandable. It's good to have something catchy, catchy, it's fetchy, catchy, fetchy. And now, but you gotta have something that's more a robust means of creating goals that you and your family can have that's going to be solid. I'm not saying that they're smart. There's no right and wrong in life. It's just something. It's just what it is. But Cat 10 deals with 10 different fundamentals to maximize your goals. You got to have clarity. You got to have adaptability. It doesn't have to be measurable. Something has to be practical. Got to be relevant. You got to have ownership in it. You have timeliness in it. You're going to have feedback. You got to have elements of motivation and get collaboration. So those 10 elements are in the Camp 10. Camp 10. Yeah. So there's those 10 elements that are there. Smart. Yeah, it's catchy and it sounds memorable. Smart, but it's too short. It's not enough. You can do one thing with one hand. That's about it. But there are times you need two hands to catch a ball. You can go there. You can try to catch a touchdown with one, but it's good, man. It's sensational when you do it with one, but it's problematic. You got to have both hands on that ball to make a secure catch. It's sensational, but you drop the ball. You can drop the goal, you can miss it, somebody snatch it down. No, you got to have two hands on that bad boy. So those 10 objectives, those 10 steps there, that's Camp 10. And again, I'll get in more details on a feature class on that, but clarity, adaptability, measurable, practical, relevance, ownership, timeliness, feedback, motivation, collaboration, and I'll get in more detail with the Camp 10. So that's Camp 10 method. Another thing about setting your financial goals, you got to be able to stretch out for it. Now I'm gonna show you this video. When I saw this video, I was like, "Oh my goodness!" So here is this video here of a young man. Just check it out. Can we get much higher? So high. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yep. Look at that little boy. Such aspirations. That little kid, hold on a second here. That little dude, that little dude was my grandson. And when I saw that, I immediately wanted to fly out to Thailand and choke my son out. I was like, dude, you do not do that. You do not do that to my baby. You know what I'm saying? He that's my baby, man. You don't do that to daddy's baby. You don't put my baby on an aircraft. And you don't do that. It's my baby, man. I seen that. I was like, oh my God, that's my baby. I was like, son, I'm gonna fly out there. I'm gonna probably put you in the headlock because you just don't do that with You don't do that with grandpa's, baby boy. You just, he's my baby, and I really wasn't seeing my grandson, you know, aspiring to go that high in the air on a. I just wasn't seeing it. But his aspirations, long term goals, he went. That little dude was. I think he was 3 going on 4 doing that. I was like, oh my god! I was like, man, if I jump with a plane, by the time I get to that beach, they'd probably be gone by then. So before I put them in headlock, I was like, oh my gosh, man, whew, had to take a deep breath. But the point of that is, when we were younger, we aspired to do things. We wanted to make things happen for ourselves. We wanted to have have an opportunity. We dreamed big. We weren't afraid. We weren't scared to do things. As we got older, we didn't reach out. We get kind of hesitant to do things, so we didn't really dream big. We weren't like that. We weren't like my grandson, who's like actually 3 going on 4 that picture right there. We weren't afraid. I mean, my man was like, even now I don't think I'd do that. But set goals that are out there, and just strap on your parachute and go for it. Make things happen, and make empowering decisions. Provide tools and resources to help empower you to make those financial goals. Go and go make it happen. Don't just dream it. Don't just say, "Yeah, I want to do this. I'm be a millionaire." Well, make it happen. Start putting funds aside. Start working towards that goal. Get that. Okay. You want to be on. You want to have a. You want to be on YouTube. You want to be on Facebook. Then do it. Then do it on a consistent basis. Don't start it and then stop it. Keep going for it. Keep putting it aside. Get you some lights. You need a microphone and make it happen. Somebody. Well, I don't think someone may not like me. Who cares? What's in your heart. You put, it's in your heart that God will work with you to provide information that you think will be valuable. Now, diversification strategies. There's different case studies out there you can read about to help you get your point across. Risk mitigation. Diversified incomes comes with different types of risks that are associated with them, and you have to be mindful of what may be satisfactory for one person may not be satisfactory for another. What risk are you willing to take? This young man here is African American man. He's dressed very well. Sometimes people that may see a certain person may not fit. The way he looks may not fit some. The way he looks may be pleasing to others. Doesn't matter. Long term vision. Once you get started, you're in it for the haul. You're in it for the long haul. It's not. Let me see if I can make some money out of this. And you stop. Oh, that don't work. Now, to a point, that may play a factor in it. Say, okay, this is not working. Let me try something else. This not working. Let me try something else. You may do that once, a couple of times, but at some point, you got to find out what you've been called to do, and you continue to do it. If it's coaching, you continue to do it. If it's finance, you continue to do it. Some things you can't continue to do, like firefighting. I love firefighting. I loved it, man. I know it sounds crazy, but I love running to a burning building, putting a fire out, rescuing people out. I love that. Physically, I couldn't do it anymore because I've got hearing aids here, so hearing aid can't hear. Somebody in there screaming, "Help me, help me." I think they're over there, but my hearing is off and I'm heading in the wrong direction. That doesn't work. So some things physically you can't do. You got to do something different. So you got to recognize when. So that's the diversification comes in, and you realize that, okay, maybe I need to have a secondary career, a secondary skill that I can fall back on or adjust to when need be. You gotta have a side hustle. It's important to have that side hustle to be there, so you can work on an additional career. Financial management, balancing, effective budgeting, wealth accumulation. Have those skills added in there too. So whatever you're doing, any challenges, any income streams that make you manage them effectively. Budgeting. I don't really like the term budgeting because putting things in buckets because they don't fit like they used to fit. A mortgage amount doesn't really fit into a budget now. If your mortgage is $2,900 and you only get paid 3,500, that just knocks it out of the window for some folks, you know. What I'd like to, and actually, when I did my research, I found that most people don't operate from a budget, actually from a spending pattern. So I could change that as a spending pattern. But wealth accumulation. Read my first text. Read my research. You can go you can go to ProQuest database, and you can download my research, and you can read why I chose spending pattern there. Uh, and Dr. Joseph Blake, University of Phoenix, you can find my research there. Wealth accumulation, that's big. My second book that I'll share at the end, that's Joseph Building Financial Legacy, talks about wealth accumulation. And wealth is systematically accumulated over time. It's not in one day, not in 1 month, not in one setting. It's systematically accumulated over time. That's what wealth creation does. Now, empowering independence. Financial independence explores concepts of financial independence. You got to have the diversification of the income, creating resilience. When you're resilient, nothing stop you from doing what you need to do. I'm not saying being arrogant, because sometimes you give some people like, well, no, I'm gonna do it this way. No, resilience means, okay, you're gonna make it happen, because sometimes in life you face obstacles, setbacks, and hindrances along your way, and something sets you back. You just step back, and then you may have to take a step back to move forward. Some things happen to you physically. You may get sickness, illness, or disease that set you aside for a little while. You need to recover from that to keep going. And if that happens, you can't let it stop your roll. At one point I had a illness, and I had to get healed from it. Cancer ain't no joke. So I had to get healed from it, and then keep on moving on. There's a path to stability. Is when you're going through challenges, and you ever ride in a truck, man? You're going down a country road. Boom, the truck. Sometimes you're in a fire truck, man. Fire truck, bound around, bound until you get to a flat road. That's how it is sometimes. That path to that stability may take a little bit before you get to where you got to go. On dirt road, so that path to your stability may take a little while, but that's just part of the process. That's part of what do you do when the road gets bumpy? What do even if the market goes up and down, what do you do when the road? What do you do when the road gets bumpy? You got to buckle up and ride it out. See, hey, ride it out, cowboy. You got to buckle up and ride it out. It's just that's how life can be sometimes. You got to buckle up and ride it out. All right. All right. Part four of it, implementation and management. Balance your commitments. Strategy, balance commitments. You got to balance it. Sometimes you got to spend time here. I like to phrase it as compartmentalizing your life. So you got commitments for your church. You got commitments for your business. You got commitments for your family. You got to be able to balance that out. Let's talk about the work-life balance. Prioritize things. Put some things in orders. And you can't, sometimes you get, okay, Monday I have this to commit to. Tuesday I have this to commit to. And then Wednesday I'll do these. Sometimes you got to schedule your priorities on a weekly basis, monthly basis, timely basis. And when you have that balance, it creates the harmony in your life where everything gets accomplished in its time, on its time, and it makes it worth the while. You're not stretching or stressing your life to make things work. And all of that encompasses being able to manage multiple streams of income, because you can't be in all places at all times. Only God can do that. But we as people have to be able to structure things in our life to make it all work at the same time. Now, the money that we create, that works all day, every day, and doesn't have to sleep. Doesn't need a vacation. Doesn't need to take time off. Doesn't need to find time to do things. It can work for us when we understand that it's just a tool. That's all money is. It's just a tool. But if you don't know that it's a tool, you'll spend your waking morning, nights, even worrying about it, versus it working for you, he's trying to work for it. It's just a tool. That's all it is. It's just a tool. But once you understand it, you can have it go work for you, and more so than you trying to work for it. That's part of the difference of getting that balance, being able to master the multiple income streams that come in. You manage the system runs itself. You don't have to work on the system works for you. So that's part of the whole process of getting understanding uh, all these things working for you. All right. Financial risk. Managing risk is part of the process. Risk is a how can I put it? Risk is a mm, not making it to the end. some type of if you run into some type of shortfall. So you got to look at different ways to manage that risk. Okay, if I don't make it to the end, I have this in place just in case. You know, that's all insurance is risk management. Just in case I don't make it, I got this done and back up. But yeah, at the same time, you have insurance there, which is risk management. You put some funds aside, and you have cash. You have cash on side for that right there. Long term planning. You have a long term planning for what's going to happen in the future because you never know what's happening. Wealth preservation. You have this cash on the side right there. But how you structure your wealth, how you place your wealth, make sure that it's planned and is maintained for your future generations, right? So that way, the future generation won't have to worry about it because you place it in such a way that it continues to grow and it's able to sustain and maintain itself. You don't want one Yahoo in the family just ruin it for everybody else because that Yahoo don't know what he's doing. You got to train your family about it so that one person doesn't rip it up. You got to train. You start, and when do you start with them? You start when that child is small. The individual is small, and you train them from their heart. And that's the word says. Train up a child in the way they should go, so when they were old, they will not depart. You got to train them when they're young, so they understand. They have their heart with them, so they understand they're preserving. It's not just for you; it's for all of us. It ain't all about It ain't all about you, that individual. It's for everybody. All right, keep going. Change, flexible, resilient, embracing innovation. All that has to happen. Reflect. You got to be able to reflect, look back on what was done, look back on what has happened. Reflection is important. You got to be back, sit back, and say, I look back in my life. That's what I asked my mom before she went to heaven. Mama, what would you change? What would you do differently? How would you make things better? And I was thinking, I was waiting for the words. I was like, okay, what would my mama say? And what would my mama say? And my mom said, she said, nothing. I wouldn't change anything. She said, I enjoyed my life, the good, bad, and the ugly. And I was like, Mom, in my mind, I was like, oh, no, Mama, this is stuff I would change. And she said, no, do it. She said, good, bad, and ugly. She said she enjoyed her life. And I was like, you know what? Then I started thinking to myself, if I hadn't gone through Baltimore the way I'd gone through Baltimore, I wouldn't be as tough as I am. I wouldn't be as strong as I am. I wouldn't be as tenacious as I am. If I didn't go through the things I went through in life, I wouldn't have I would have the tough skills I would have. If I wouldn't have been a firefighter, I wouldn't have the non-fear of things that I don't have that I have. I mean, nothing scares me. Nothing. Uh, only person or thing that I fear is God. God's wrath on my life. God, like I always want God. Not that type of fear. It's like I always want God with me. I don't want Him not with me. I want God with me. So my homework assignment I have for you is to create your own plan and develop your plan. Write it down. That's another thing from the word. It says, write your vision and make it plain and write it upon tables. Well, so write it down. Write what you want to have happen in your life down. Put it in the paper because it takes all things are created three times. Once in the mind, second is put on paper, and then third stuff, physical structures built. In anything in life, you can do this. Write it down, make it plain, put it on paper because it takes it out of the physical mind, puts it it takes it out of the spiritual mind, put it on this physical paper, and brings it into this world where it creates. It's created. You can be able to build it, make it happen. So I mean, it's just so many things, and that's just today I just talked about mastering uh, the multiple income streams. And I mean, all of it is just wonderful. There's my book again. That's the new one, um, Building a Legacy. You can take and scan that QR code. The QR code goes to the app that you can download that follows me. I have a lot of my principles in the app as well. That particular book has QR codes at the end of each chapter that gives you summary of each chapter that you read, um, and also has the in the first at the end of the introduction. There's a QR code that gives you a 30-minute presentation of uh, the the three books that I'm writing. It's the first book, the second book, and it talks about the third book that I'm writing as well. Please, you can uh, read over the book. I also want to remind you that you can like and subscribe to the channel. That's important because it help me grow, help us grow, get more knowledge, wisdom, and information out to those that are listening to us, which is obviously very important. So make sure you like and subscribe. Uh, I have there's you can scan that QR code there, and that gets you the app as well, the Actionable Money app. I do have some lessons that are up there. You can uh, there's the financial literacy, the gold series, and then there's also Sapphire series courses that you can take, and that gives you more insight into what I have planned and the courses there. That way, because I can only do so much in that 30 minutes that I share here, but they give you more depth and intel information about what I have. So with that, I try to keep things for 30 minutes here. I know sometimes I kind of go quick, but it is what it is. So again, this has been Dr. Joe Blake with the Actionable Financial Literacy Center, the On Point podcast, and how in my new ending, I like to say, make sure that you stay informed, stay in tune, and stay on point. This has been Dr. Joe Blake. We'll see you again next week. Have a great day.